Hello and welcome to another episode of Bring Back Focus, a podcast where we explore how to do your best work in a world full of noise and distraction. So, in the last episode, we talked about the power of thinking time. We looked at the science of thinking time. We saw how every big idea or a creative idea needs moment of silence and clarity. So, we looked at all of that in the previous episode. If you haven't heard that, highly recommend go listen to it. In today's episode, we'll take it a step further and we'll get more practical. So, today we'll discuss how to design and protect your thinking blocks in 5 steps. And more importantly, how do you make them actually useful? So, let's get started. Before I get into the step by step process, let's understand why does thinking time get ignored. It's not that people don't understand. If I tell anyone, they get the concept, they know that it is important. However, it is very rare for people to block thinking blocks in their calendar. So why does that happen? So what happens is the reason is very, very simple. Thinking time has no visible output in the short run. Just underline or bold that point in the short run. It has no visible output. So when you finish a meeting, you have notes and you have some action items. But when you finish thinking, all you have is thoughts, maybe some ideas, but no clear visible output. And that's the reason why we kind of keep procrastinating, we pushing it off because it doesn't produce anything visible in the short run. And it's really hard to defend this in a world obsessed with metrics, productivity metrics. So I think the first shift that you would need to do is think about thinking as real work. It may not show results right away, but absolutely over time, it will drive the quality of every decision, every project, every idea you execute. Not only that, it will equip you with so many ideas that you'd be surprised. So that's the biggest and most important shift before we get into the details. Like thinking is real work. It takes time, but it shows real impact in your career and your life. So with that being said, how do we go about blocking time and making those blocks work? So step one is schedule it and follow that schedule. Make that schedule matter. So if you want to take thinking seriously, you have to give it time on your calendar. Calendars don't lie. So block it on your calendar. Start small. 2 30 minutes blocks a week. That's it. Block it at a time. Nobody can move it. It's non-negotiable. It is your thinking time. And don't call it free time or don't even call it focus time. It is, as I said, it is thinking time, call it clarity block, call it thinking space, whatever you would like to call it. It is not execution oriented, it is thinking oriented. It's almost like a meeting with your future self. So do not cancel that block. Make it a non-negotiable on a calendar. That's step one. Step two is create the right environment. I'm sure you have spaces at your home, in the office, where you do your best thinking. So go there. Just turn off all your notification. In fact, keep your devices away from your eyesight. What I do is I just keep my devices in a different place. I take my notebook and go to a particular place in the office or at home. And that creates the right environment for me. It could be anything. It could be you could sit by the window, go for a walk, find a quiet corner. It's up to you. Your brain will recognize this time feels very, very different. So do that. Create the right environment. And again, the goal is not to plan, not even to analyze as much as to capture. So take your notebook along with you, a pen and paper, whatever, but something that doesn't have any apps on it. So it has to be, even if you're using a digital notebook, it has to be free of apps. Take it and capture your thoughts. Just jot down fragments, phrases, whatever. You will be surprised at how much your brain starts thinking when it is in this mode. So that's step number two, is to create the right environment. The third one is have a gentle prompt ready. What do you mean by gentle prompt? It is not a to-do list. It is not like a hard question, but almost like a free, flexible question or prompt, something like, what am I not seeing clearly right now? Or what should I stop doing that is making me ineffective? Or something that I really like is what can I do that will make this project 10x better? You can think about any such prompt. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't have to be a hard, rigid prompt. It has to be almost like a flexible. I'm waving my hands to show that it has to be comfortable to your brain. It is almost something which is more ambitious in nature rather than very rigid project driven, as I would say. Open ended in nature rather than close ended. Pick one question per session. That's it. And that's what you will noodle around. Your brain will start thinking about it. You will start jotting down, okay, for example, how do I make this project 10x better? Your brain will start thinking, what are the issues currently? What are some of the small ideas that you might have thought of earlier but never got a chance to write about it? So you'll start seeing action in motion. Some days you will fill pages and some days you'll get nothing. That's okay. Don't worry about it. If you get nothing out of this block, that's perfectly all right. It happens. But remember, this is not about efficiency. It is about discovery and quality. Yes, not about efficiency. It's about discovery. It's about quality. So that's step number 3. Have a gentle prompt ready. Step number 4 is protect it like a sacred space. No, don't let anybody enter your thinking zone, your thinking time. Nobody should be allowed to do that. If there is a meeting, that meeting can wait. If it was scheduled right away, it can wait. No emails, no pings, nothing. It just is you and your time and your brain. Do not reschedule the meeting. That gets you in the loop of procrastination, and you don't want that. Lastly, reflect and revisit. So at the end of every week, open your notebook and go through your notes. You'll notice that the ideas keep coming back. You'll notice some patterns, and those patterns are not random. They'll suddenly start making sense. That reflection and revisit is actually one of the most important parts of this. So once you're done with the week on a Friday or a Saturday, whatever works for you, go back to your notes and start thinking about, okay, what were the patterns? What were the thoughts? And what did you learn during this process? So those are the 5 steps. I'll repeat again. Step number 1 is schedule and be rigid with the schedule. Make it count, make it matter. Create the right environment. Go to the place where your thoughts come naturally. Find a corner, find a window, walk, do whatever that works best for you. Step number 3 is have a gentle prompt. When I say gentle prompt, it doesn't have to be rigid. It doesn't have to be close-ended. It has to be flexible, open-ended in nature. Something more ambitious. Step number 4 is protect this setup like a sacred space. Don't let any meeting, any email, any chat, anything interrupt you during this process. And step number 5 is at the end of the week, reflect and revisit. Remember, thinking time is leverage. It is not a luxury. It cannot be pushed off. It is not something, it's not a nice to have. It is a must have. It is leverage. It's the difference between people who are always busy and people who move the dial. So start small, block 2 30-minute sessions, bring your notebook, ask one good question, and protect that space like your next big idea depends on it. Because you know what? It just might. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next episode of Bring Back Focus.